continue raining. Today's morning will be cooler than yesterday. Anyway, let's get started morning service. हम ईमानदारी से महामंदारा गोहनों के सभी आग्रहीय लोगों के लिए सधर्म पुंडरीक सूत्र शाश्वत बुद्ध शाक्य मुनि प्रभु रत्न बुद्ध और सभी अतीत वर्तमान और भविष्य के बुद्धों के लिए 10 दिशाओं में समर्पित करते हैं। हम आगे खुद को पृथ्वी के 4 महाबोधिसत्व समर्पित करते हैं, जैसे विशिष्ट कारित्र बोधिसत्व, अनंत कारित्र बोधिसत्व, विशुद्ध कारित्र बोधिसत्व, सुप्रतिष्ठ कारित्र बोधिसत्व। बोधिसत्व के सभी बोधिसत्व मंजूश्री समंतभद्र मैत्रेय प्रोक्तेश्वर शाक्यमुनि के महाशिष्य बुद्ध शारिपुत्र मोक्तारम कश्यप आनंद महाशिलमक और धर्म के सभी सुरक्षात्मक देवताओं के लिए हम आपको मूल बुद्ध द्वारा भेजे गए महा बोधिसत्व निचिरेन शोनिन के लिए खुद को समर्पित करते हैं। हम आगे अपने आप को उनके शिष्य रेंगे अजर निचिरेन शोनिन पहले विदेशी मिशनरी के लिए समर्पित करते हैं। सभी जीवों को वह पुण्य प्राप्त हो जो हमने सूत्र के पास से संचित किया है। हम आप सभी को यह हार्दिक भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं। आप हमारे प्रति अपनी करुणा से इस पवित्र स्थान पर आए, हमें अपनी बुद्धि के प्रकाश से देखें और इस सूत्र का पाठ करने और नाम म्यो बोरेंगे क्यों का जाप करने की हमारी पेशकश को स्वीकार करें। जो जिन जिन मिम्योदो को रक्सेन मंगो निमो आई ताते मात्सुरु कोतो काताशी वारे इमातेन मोन्सि जुदि सुरु कोतो एतारि नेगावाकु wa nyorai no dai ichigyo gesen shigoku no daijō shigi sube karazu天文即地みな菩提に近づく動線が欲し所詮が欲し色相の文字はすなわちこれ王人なり無料読皆この経に集まれりこのゆえに自在に妙に訓示密に訳す内無知罪を滅し前後生ずもしは死もしは法ともに仏道上世三世の諸仏人人の妙伝なり諸上世世ちぐし頂大世 Establishing the place of prayer. Nam myo ho renge kyo. Nam myo ho renge kyo. Nam myo ho renge kyo. Here and now we have just chanting Nam myo ho renge kyo. At this moment, this place has become the place of prayer to Odaimaku. as a place of prayer for our heart during lifetime. On this very place of prayer to Odaimoku, all Buddhas have attained enlightenment. This is also the place where the Buddha have expounded their teachings. This world in which we live, believing in and chanting Odaimoku, is the place where the Buddha live in peace. Adoration of Gohonzon. In the mandala Gohonzon, the object of our worship is shown the origin of how the mandala was written. One day in the 12th month of 1274, 11th year of Bunrei, I, Nichiren, wrote the Gohonzon in the village of Haki, province of Tai, the present-day Midobusan, Yamanashi Prefecture. It was a time when over 2,220 years had passed since Shakyamuni Buddha passed away. Nevertheless, in the three countries of India, China, and Japan, namely in the world, where had never existed a Gohonzon like this. This is probably because none of our past masters attempt to spread the Gohonzon among the society even though they were aware of its existence, or it may be that nobody knew about it. Shakyamuni Buddha, after careful consideration, determined that he should conceal the Gohonzon until the arrival of an opportune moment to reveal it, revealing it to the people in the period of Mappo. In fact, the Buddha preaches in the Lotus Sutra that his messenger, Jogyo Bosatsu, should spread that Buddha's teaching in the first 500 years of Mappo. As predicted by the Buddha, Nichiren Daishonin appeared in this world to reveal the Gohonzon and expounded the teaching of the Odaimoku. Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. Word of oath before reciting the Lotus Sutra. To carry out the way of the Buddha, as the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha has been expounding his teaching without rest from the beginning to this day, not only in our world, but also in immutable world. Among his teachings, the Lotus Sutra is the most important. If you devote yourself completely to the faith in the Lotus Sutra, you will surely become a person who truly practices the way of the Buddha. All of you, even after my death, should continue having faith in the Lotus Sutra and reciting it. Make this oath before me now. Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. Myoho-renge-kyo benbon ni その時に生存三枚より安城として立って車両つに告げたまわく諸仏の知恵は人人無料なりその知恵の門は何芸何流なり一切の消耗百死仏の修行とあたわざるところなり家はいかん仏かつて約千万の組主の諸仏に真言し尽くして諸仏の無料の同法行自由病精進して病床あまねく聞こえたまえり人人未曾有の法を成就してよろしきに従って時たもところ一周悟りがたし車両つわれ成仏しておりこの方修道因縁修の比をもって広く根拠を述べ後ろ方便をもって修正を引導してボロボロの弱を離れしむ家はいかん如来は方便知見腹みつみなすでに具足整理シャリオツ如来の知見は広大人のなり無量無下力無償意全上下脱三枚あって無覚無才に入り一切の未曾有の法を成就整理シャリオツ如来は翌週に分別し巧みに商法を説く根治流難にして衆の心を越化せしむシャリオツ用をとってこれをいわば無量無辺未曾有の法仏ことごとく成就したまいり闇難シャリオツまた特別からず家はいかん仏の成就したまいるところは第一形にして何形の法なりただ仏と仏と今しよく商法の実相を空人したまいりいわゆる商法尿税総尿税小尿税大尿税力尿税差尿税陰尿税遠尿税下尿税法尿税本末空教となりいわゆる商法尿税総尿税小尿税大尿税力尿税差尿税陰尿税、遠尿税、下尿税、法尿税、本 まつく教となり、いわゆる小法領税、総領税、小領税、大領税、力領税、差領税、飲領税、遠領税、下領税、法領税、本末教と。Chapter 2 Expedient. After carefully considering how he can expound clearly the substance of his enlightenment, Shakyamuni Buddha calmly opened his eyes and began talking to Shariputra, who was known to be the Buddha's wisest disciple. The wisdom of the Buddha, not to mention my own wisdom, is so deep and wide that it is far beyond your imagination. Since you won't understand Buddha's enlightenment if it is expounded as it is, I first tried to reveal my mind by using Hoben or expedient wisdom, following your heart. However, since you could not even understand the purpose behind Hoben, you are far from being able to enter the word of the truth. Shravaka, who understand impermanency just by listening to the Buddha's teaching, and Engak Pratyeka Buddha, who seeks enlightenment just by sensing impermanency. Through experience are the people who are practicing individually to reach the state of enlightenment. Hence, they can't understand the interaction between expedient and the truth. This is because the Buddha, unlike you, has trained himself under countless Buddha, carrying out countless practice taught by them, and accomplished the goals of severe practice in order to attain enlightenment. His reputation is widespread. The Buddha's enlightenment is unprecedentedly deep and has been preached and expounded skillfully. However, it seems to be too difficult for you to understand the true meaning. Shariputra, ever since I became a Buddha, I have been expounding my teachings broadly, using example and parables. I use every kind of program or expedient wisdom in order to lead people and save them from attachment. The reason that was possible is because the Buddha is perfectly equipped with an understanding of both Hoben and the truth. Shariputra, the Buddha's wisdom is wide and deep. That is to say, the Buddha holds for immutable mind known as Jihikisha, love, compassion, happiness, and disturbance. And when he expounds his teaching, he is versatile and flexible, equipped with 10 kinds of supreme wisdom, and teach us he believed without zipper. At that time, his mind is unshakable, wiping off hesitation completely, distancing from any suffering and focusing on goodness so that he can ascertain the truth. In other words, the Buddha has all the wisdom to teach and lead all people. Shariputra, the Buddha adapted his teaching in accordance with time and place, conjuring a teaching method fit for each person he teaches. His way of teaching is very flexible, bringing those who he teaches to certainty and joy. Shariputra, all told, the Buddha has attained the Dharma, immutable excellence, which none else has achieved up to now. I will stop expounding my teaching to you. Listen carefully, Shariputra. I probably should not expound my teaching to you since you can't understand the true purpose of the Buddha's teaching. The reason being, my word of enlightenment is unprecedented and is the most superior. It is a word you will never be able to reach. Only the Buddha attained the reality of all things in their fullest extent. This true state of all things must be viewed from the following 10 kind of perspective. So is the outside appearance, show is the nature hidden inside, tai is the combination of the two. These three factors are the fundamental system. Liki is the inner core, sa is the outside effect, in is the indirect cause, en is the indirect cause, ka is the result, ho is the new interrelationship with the surrounding suitable to its effect. The factors of form, which encompass soul, show and tai, and matsu, which encompasses the rest, are the factors existence in all things and always complement one another. This is four or equality. 両法蓮華経如来十両本第16 我仏を得てよりこの方へたるところのもろもろの古衆無料百千万億歳や葬儀なりすでに法を説いて無私欲の修正を強形して仏道にいらしむそれよりこの方無料法なり修正を当選がためのゆえに方便してね反方便図しかも実には滅動せず常にここに重して法を説く我常にここに重すれどももろもろの神通力をもって天道の修正をしてしかしといえどもしかも見ざらしむ修和が滅動を見て広くシャリを供養しことごとく皆連邦を抱いて渇望の心を生ず修正すでに神仏し知識にして心入団に一心に仏を見立て祭らんと欲して自ら神妙をします時に我及び宗僧ともに両中戦にいず我時に修正にかかる常にここにあって滅せず方便力をもってのゆえに滅不滅ありと現ず陽道国に修正道空行し信行する暴動あれば我またかの中においてもために無常の法を説く我何時らこれを聞かずしてただ我滅動すと思えり我もろもろの修正を見れば空海に発大成理彼がゆえにために身を建設してそれをして渇望をこさしむその心を連合するによってすなわち出てために法を説く神通立格のごとし阿葬儀法において常に両重線及び世のもろもろの重症にあり修正法を尽きて大化に焼かれると見るときも我がこの塔は安穏にして天人常に10万整理恩林もろもろの道各宗の宝をもって小根整理法中は皆多くして修正の有楽するところなり小天天空を打って常にもろもろの義学をなし曼荼羅系の花をし下して仏及び大衆に参ず我が浄土は破れざるにしかも衆は焼けすぎてうくもろもろの空の核のごとくことごとく10万セリと見る法のもろもろの罪の修正は悪業と因縁をもって阿葬儀法を優れとも三方の皆を聞かずもろもろの功徳を修し竜はしきじきなるものはすなわち皆我が身ここにあって法を説くと見るある時にはこの衆のために仏重無量なりと遠く久しくしてすなわち仏を見立て祀る者にはために仏には愛がたしと遠く我が自力格のごとし栄光照らす高等無量に10秒無思考なり久しく法をしして得たるところなりなんだちいちあるものここにおいて疑いを生ずることなかれまさに断じて長く突きしむべし密号は別にしてむなしからず色よき方便をもって王子さんがためのゆえに実にはあれどもしかもシスというによく肛門をなく解くことのなきがごとく我もまた世の父としてもろもろの空言を救うものなり本部の天道せるがゆえに実にはあれどもしかも滅すという常に我を見るをもってのゆえにしかも教師の心を起こし法律にしてご欲に弱し悪道の中に大津我常に修正の道を行じ道を行ぜざるを知ってとすべきところに従ってために修の法を説く常に自らこの伝をなすなりをもってか修正をして無常道にいることを得て速やかに仏心を成就せしめんと16 chapter Tathagata Aish Pramana chapters. The duration of the life of the Tathagata. I Shakyamuni am originally a Buddha. I am always expounding the teaching of the Buddha to lead you into the way of the Buddha. Many hundreds of thousands of years have passed since I began expounding my teachings. In order to help save you, I have even hidden myself tentatively from this world, but I am always present in this subtle world. I always live here expounding the Dharma. To tell the truth, I am always here, but for those who don't realize that, I am intentionally hiding myself from your sight. When you notice my absence, you appreciate the Buddha for the first time, or the verse for his remains, and then soon, every one of you being to seek the Buddha seriously from the heart. Once you have trusted the Buddha in all seriousness, you will honestly being to want to meet him and see the way of the Buddha as the cause of your life. When you enter that state of mind, you realize the Buddha is present in this world along with his disciples. You will then begin to understand the reason why the Buddha is saying, I am always here, only I choose to hide and appear an purpose in order to save you all. In fact, if there is anyone who seeks me, not just on earth, but anywhere in space, there I am able to expand my teachings. You might think there is no Buddha simply because you don't care to read and hear to the Buddha's teaching. When I look at your way of life, I can tell very well how hurt you are struggling with various suffering, unable to find the way to escape from them. I hide myself from you, both to help you realize you can never escape from the suffering of this world by yourself and become convinced that you should seek the Buddha and his teaching. When these feelings arise, you will understand that the Buddha is actually expounding his teaching at all times. This is known as the Buddha's supernatural powers. In other words, the Buddha is anywhere at any time. Even when you suspect that the world has come to its end and that it will burn to destruction in a great fire, my mental state always remains peaceful and my surroundings are full of people with the same mental state. It is like, for example, beautiful flowers, garden and verses. There stand a building like a castle. Along it grow trees full of beautiful flowers and fruits, and people are living happily. It is as if heavenly beings are playing music, and better of the mandalas flowers are gracefully pouring along us. My word of enlightenment, my word of wisdom will never be destroyed. But all of you who are at a loss believe this world is moving towards destruction, and that while you exist in this world, all kind of frightening and painful events will arise. The reason why you are suffering as you are right now is because you have totally failed to reflect upon your half-hearted ways of life filled with worldly desires, without paying any attention to the light religion and the light faith, and not being mindful of making any efforts. Those who continue to conduct good deeds for the world, for its people with the light faith upward, are released from the building and binding of self-attachment, and neither fool themselves nor others. People of this kind of will understand that I am expounding my teaching here all the time. So those who seek the way of the Buddha in such state of mind, I teach them that the Buddha's life is eternal. To those who do not seek the faith, I teach them to have faith in him. Thus, my wisdom works at my own will. Since I have limitless wisdom and have gained an eternal life, I am capable of saving all people, and these incomparable powers can be obtained thanks to my own endeavors practiced day by day without rest. Those who make effort to try to comprehend the significance of life, you must not question the true eternal existence of the word, Buddha. You must fundamentally take yourself from your current hypocrisy ways of life. That way, you will understand that the teaching of the Buddha are fruitful. When the renowned physician saved his children, who themselves were suffering from deadly poison but would not accept any medicine given by their father, by telling them, your father is dead, when in fact he was alive. Nobody blamed him. Likewise, I am actually the father of this world. capable of saving all people from various pains and suffering. However, you can't tell what is right and what is wrong. In order to open your eyes, I say that the Buddha is not here while actually I am here. But if you become aware that I am really here, you will gradually lose the sense of appreciation and begin to develop arrogance. Then eventually you will return to that life full of worldly desire and ultimately fall into the three evil lanes of hell, angry spirits, and animals. I can see clear whether or not you people are following the right way. That is why I expound the teaching in many ways in order to read you appropriately. I have only one wish. My wish is to know how I can quickly lead you to the right way of faith and make you become Buddha as soon as possible. よ法蓮華経如来人力音大21要本師よをもってこれをいわば如来の一切の小の法如来の一切の自在の人力如来の一切の費用の像如来の一切の人人の字皆この経において先時見絶整理このゆえに何たち如来の滅後においてまさに一心に従事し独重し現世主し説のごとくに修行すべしあら正体の国道にもしは従事し独重し現世主なし説のごとく修行するもとあらもしは教官小中のところもしは恩中においてももしは臨中にてももしは地下にいてももしは僧帽においてももしは白衣の家にてももしは天道にあってももしは戦国荒野にてもこの中に港を建てて空用すべし家はいかんまさに知るべしこのところはすなわち高齢道場なり諸仏ここにおいてアードクターラ三脈三宝大王へ諸仏ここにおいて法輪号天示諸仏ここにおいて発年したもChapter 21 The Supernatural Power of Tathagata. Wishing that spirits of the messages of the Lotus Sutra will be handed down from generation to generation forever. I, the Buddha, state the main points of teaching carried in the Odaimoku. The Odaimoku include all the merits of Buddha's enlightenment. The Odaimoku contain all the supernatural powers of Buddhas to save all people. The Odaimoku is a crystallization of the Buddha's boundless wisdom necessary to teach and lead all beings. The Odaimoku expresses all merits the Buddha has practiced. These four things showing the Buddha's real image and spirits are experientially revealed in the Lotus Sutra. The Buddha's true mind is the Odaimoku. Especially after the Buddha's extinction, you must keep in mind that you should believe from the bottom of your heart in the Lotus Sutra and the Odaimoku in which the entire mind of the Buddha is clearly explained. And that you should recite and study the Lotus Sutra and chant the Odaimoku in order to practice the Buddha's teaching as instructed by the Buddha, wherever the place might be. As the place where the teaching of the Lotus Sutra have spread and the place in the Odaimoku is practiced in correct and proper ways, you must set up a place of prayer and spend a life with faith in the Sutra, be it in a village or countryside with firm woods or grove or in a monastery or in the house of ordinary people or a residence of higher state people or in a mountain village or a vast plain. The reason for that is that no one else but the place where the Odaimoku is believed in and its teaching are expounded is true place of prayer. It is this place of prayer to the Odaimoku where all Buddha have become enlightened. Here the Buddha expound their teaching. In other words, this subtle word is which we believe. Believing in the Odaimoku is the very place where the Buddha's true word lies. Repentance, everyday life, deep reflection of everyday life. If you the causes of all troubles and suffering in life all come from your misunderstanding. If you wish to notice your error, You should collect your mind. If you wish to notice your error, you should collect your mind and see the truth in all matters. You must have proper belief to do so. If you deeply reflect upon your errors, even if they are errors which come from misunderstanding, and if you see the truth appearance in things, it will be like when fogs and dew disappear in the sunlight. You will eventually realize your error and certainly be forgiven. Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. 日蓮大聖人五妙観願行八万象に示しての玉枠 returning to Buddha Dharma to the west. India is called the country of the moon, where the Buddha appears shining in the world as brightly as the moon. Japan is called the origin of the sun. How can it be that no sage as bright as the sun appear in Japan? The moon moves from west to east. It is the omen of Buddhism in India spreading to the east. The sun orbits from west to east to west. This is the lucky omen of Buddhism in Japan returning to India. Moonlight is not as bright as the sunlight. Therefore, the Buddha preaches the Lotus Sutra for only 8 years of his lifetime. Sunlight is brighter than moonlight. This is an auspicious omen of Japanese Buddhism shining through the long darkness of the 500 years period. The Buddha didn't say the surrender of the Lotus Sutra, because there existed no surrender during his lifetime. In the latter age of the disintegration, there will be many formidable enemies of the time, one big Lotus teaching everywhere. This is a time when we can leave the harvest of never disparaging bodhisattva aggressive propagation, sowing the seed of Buddhism. Even each of my disciples should exist himself to spread the teaching of the Buddha, even at the cost of life. 日蓮大聖人五妙観小大病 chanting meditation. Practice of Odaimaku chanting. All the marriage Shakyamuni Buddha has attained, in other words, his true heart, are included in the 5-letter Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. If we believe in and practice the teaching of the 5 letters at the cost of our lives, we are able gradually but surely to gain the Buddha's true heart. 釈尊の引用家督の二法は妙法蓮華経の五字にこそ我らこの五字を持持すればかの次年にかの因果の功徳を譲り与えたも南無妙法蓮華経。法華大交渉に示しての玉枠されば世間の歌にも手に結ぶ水に宿れる月影のあるかなきがの世にも住むかなと読みまた儚くも明日の命を頼むかな昨日を過ぎし心な習いにとも読み将来ば急ぎても急ぐべきは五章の蓄えにて候されば昔天竺に国王をあしける姫君一人一人増し増しきいつきかしずき参らせけるにある時春雨の軒に落ちけるにこの色おのずから玉に似て美しかりしければあの玉を取りて参らせよとありければ目のと申すよ音鉄から召されて旅将来玉作りによくすられせて参らすべしとそうし申しければ本手を下し取らせ玉へともただ水なれば打ち消えて本手に残ることなし姫君この時世間の無常を悟りて同心を起こして出家し玉いけると見れたり法華経の六の巻追記功徳本に曰くよ皆老子ならざること水末法縁のごとしとかかるあだなる世に生まれて世間の交わりにのみ今なく根性の宝のみに紛れて瞬間の移り変われるをも脅かす花の散るをも惜しまず 仏とリスの初音のお先、遅き王も恨みず、周到の代わりゆくにも騒がず、昨日の過ぎしようも悔やまず、年月の重なるをもう嘆かずして、灘月を愛し花に目で、虚しく明かし暮らしつ、ついに和歌の裏をは遠ざかり置いて、波は立ち重なりて、一後過ぎて後に三泣く道を積みかとし、構わんこと歌って、かるべきゆえに方のごとく仏法の分かち、大を立て、水戸橋の道理を申すことなり、南無妙法蓮華経。妙法蓮華経最上欲大事大悲長無経下合具全時利益一切欲如来秘密人通水力枠時講師枠時多子通修上欲修十説法人の人間獲得上一合計大風大法無料根本進歩走行用一心に大年慶徳安の第一力多少の役天正道士休止登場風化徳の改正功労役本類大使妙蓮法薬全治修病理一切空一切病通毒門死強六根症状陣痛立構造薬重病解体管理円満合心再損再造建属医療特大陣痛浸水肛門非行事大小眼仏法薬を減税特合複合注文功労学難尿怪獣満無知病門実行高量薬修上多空脳死薬の一切英語具一切空毒事現時修上九十回無料税高将来年費教力修音失態三如来秘密人通水力税高老薬本類在世本師大乗如来一切小有志法事在心力医療思想真珠指示略真珠真珠黄金尿安特等の派一切風前死や破傷まず芸小子具下風の小水風の容量特安の理小水源無風小芸講師大伝回出断念即特系脱長や集合合徳最小量化契約会大乗も料理儀形上複合 CC 大老薬量等下複足上空の無風修験大特許仏称号年異性空毒一心合唱空行空用異営修上庫現無量人力無空症状公演西亞小安の無才風化運明創世家異体傀来神事妙大運神海大歓義海上安納層異大寺非力の偶性天空偶足人通力総量病死空異性質量滅単小法中悪外指導弱系安住実地中枠地温属量各種等側が一心差英語老空語一切がシード安納天人上十マーガー重空本来中夜上昇地が仙台状況東大空修上国部天才名無上大法理税法重法医政経総上樹東証大新力合唱空行士税任士空毒無変無無症状士化法偶然整形法両連芸在数無分将棋枠両風王空中一切無証芸本仏国際上安納無老法税公原形種大きい妙最上尊両法蓮華経上本第一両法蓮華経上本第一両法蓮華経上本第一 Silent meditation to concentrate breathing南無妙法蓮華経 ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経ナム妙法蓮華経司教難事薬残寺社が即歓迎諸仏薬ね如是死に諸仏昇誕で即有名で即精進で名自体行図打者即位失徳無常仏道老来世独自死教是神仏師従順全知仏滅道後農下合義で昇天に世間資源奥異性の周遊説一切天に愛欲よहम महामंदारा गोहनजुम के सभी आदरणीय लोगों के लोटस सूत्र और उदयमुख का पाठ करने के गुणों को सम्मान समर्पित करते थे। महान परोपकाशी शिक्षण शाक्य मुनि बुद्ध को लोटस सूत्र और धर्म के सभी संरक्षणात्मक देवताओं को सर्वोच्च शिक्षण के लिए भगवान शाक्य मुनि बुद्ध ने बोधि वृक्ष बोधगया के नीचे ज्ञान प्राप्त किए और तब से उन्होंने विभिन्न तरीकों से विभिन्न शिक्षाओं का प्रचार किया ताकि सभी जीवित लोगों को इस सांसारिक क्षेत्र से मुक्त होने में मदद मिल सके और अंत में लोटस सूत्र का प्रचार किया जो 2400 साल पहले पवित्र भूमि की चौथी राजगीर भारत में सर्वोच्च शिक्षाओं का प्रचार करता था। हम सभी हमेशा बुद्ध धर्म के अनुसार जी सके, अपने बौद्ध विश्वास को गहरा कर सके और ज्ञान विकसित करने के लिए अपनी बोधिसत्व व्रतों को जारी रख सके और दूसरों को भी ऐसा करने में मदद कर सके। इस दुनिया में अधिक से अधिक लोग बुद्ध धर्म से संबंध रख और अपने जीवन में धर्म के आनंद का आनंद ले। शांति दुनिया के हर कोने में व्याप्त हो सकती है और सभी शांति और खुशी का आनंद ले सकते हैं। दुनिया सभी जीवित प्राणियों में फैल सकता है। ताकि हम और सभी जीवित प्राणी एक साथ ज्ञान प्राप्त कर सके, दुनिया शांतिपूर्ण हो और सद्भाव में रह सके और सभी जीवित प्राणी सभी कष्टों से मुक्त हो सके, सभी संवेदनशील प्राणी स्वस्थ और खुश रहे। नामो रेंगे क्यो। 地上無変性願道、煩悩無修正願断、訪問無人性願知、仏道無常性願上。Sentient beings are measurable, I vow to accept them all. Our ever desires are exhaustible, I vow to consume all. The Buddha's teaching are measurable, I vow to study them all. The way of the Buddha is unexcelled, I vow to attain the path of life. Nam myo renge kyo, Nam myo renge kyo, Nam myo renge kyo. Thank you very much. Let's continue chanting for inner peace of all living beings. सभी जीवित प्राणियों के आंतरिक शांति के लिए नाम में हो रहेंगे क्यों का जाप जारी रखे। बहुत धन्यवाद। शाम को मिलेंगे। See you evening time. Have a nice day. And दुनिया सभी जीवित प्राणियों में फंस सकता है ताकि हम और सभी जीवित प्राणी एक साथ ज्ञान प्राप्त कर सके, दुनिया शांतिपूर्ण हो और सद्भाव में रह सके और सभी जीवित प्राणी सभी कष्टों से मुक्त हो सके। May the merit spread to all living beings so we and all living beings can attain enlightenment together. May the world be peaceful and live in harmony, and all living beings free from all the suffering. May all sentient beings be well and happy. Nam myo ho renge kyo.